Welcome to the show that can grow a beard better than mine. It is topic of discussion. Caleb McCabe, Travion Davis. This is the show where we give you our opinions on the latest sports subject. First one up. Everybody knows, not a secret. D'Antoni has been hired by the Lakers. Oh, Phil the Wizard Jackson. What's your take on that, man?
Well, I thought Phil had it wrapped up. I thought if he wanted the job, it was going to be his.
Right.
I can't even believe they didn't even start talking contract with him whenever this happened. Mm-hmm. I mean, don't get me wrong. D'Antoni is he's a good coach, but he's not Phil Jackson.
Right.
I mean, he's never even been to the finals. So, I mean, look at what he did with Carmelo, with Amare,
mm-hmm.
and I just don't really see what that he's going to do with them defensively. I guess maybe you hire a good offensive coach because you have the best defensive player in the league.
Right.
But all I'm seeing is question marks.
I don't know. It's because what I've been reading, Phil Jackson basically wanted the privileges of a GM. Like
he didn't want to go to away games,
right?
Or,
and then he wanted to
like
veto certain players' rights. It was just all over the place. Me personally, I think they should have got Phil Jackson. That's the only team that can just really get Phil Jackson's attention to really just make him want to coach again.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is LA. They still have the players. They still have talent. Mike Brown, he just wasn't the right fit. But I mean, like you said, it is D'Antoni. He can coach his behind off. So, like you said, question marks. We just have to see what's going to come up next. Speaking of LA, are the Clippers the best team in LA right now, or just period?
Well, if the Lakers would have gotten Phil Jackson, I had them the number 2 team in the West with Mike Brown.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they got off the slow start and whatever. If Phil Jackson would have came, I might have bumped them up to 1. Mm-hmm. But for sure, they would have said it 2. I think now they're 4th behind the Clippers.
Right.
I mean, the Clippers have looked outstanding thus far. I don't know if you saw Eric Bledsoe's block on D-Wade last night. But
going to the wayside. So
they are a young team, mm-hmm. and they've been to the playoffs now. They've gotten a little bit of experience mm-hmm. underneath their belt. I don't know if they're truthfully 3rd, just because from what we've seen from them thus far, and then a Lakers team that's trying to get to mesh.
Right.
But I think as of right now, they're better than the Lakers are.
Yeah, and I agree with you on that. I feel like they are better than the Lakers. I'm going to be Skip Bayless right now. I'm going to go on the limb and say it on November 15th, 2012, that L.A. is owned by the Clippers now. It's going to be owned by L.A. for the rest of the year, and I'm going to tell you why. I saw so much improvements last night against the Heat. I saw Blake Griffin shooting, like taking a lot of jump shots outside of the paint, and I was just impressed. And then I had to remember, wow, Chauncey Billups isn't back yet. Yeah. He's still so the Lakers, hey, it's not looking too good for them.
They just have a ton of young stars.
Right, right.
I mean, I can't even name all. You got CP3, Blake Griffin, mm-hmm. Bledsoe, Chauncey Billups. He's older.
Right.
And then you have Nick Young.
Mm-hmm. You still got DeAndre Jordan.
Yeah.
Ron Butler's old, but still producing points. I mean, you have a nice squad. Right. You have a nice squad over there. So, like I said, the Lakers, the run, the ownership of LA, that title, it may not be there much longer, especially after leaves. So, with that being said, Clippers, hop on it. Do not let it go. Embrace it, because once the Lakers start meshing,
I'm in trouble.
Exactly. But we're going to transition to the NFL real quick. The teammates of Timothy, my favorite Tebow, are calling him terrible. What is your stance on that?
Okay. I just don't see how you can talk about a teammate like that.
Right.
I mean, whenever you're on a team, you're supposed to be a family. You work your butt off mm-hmm. that entire year during the off season, during spring training, during the season, and then if someone asks you your opinion about someone, you don't just go out there and say, yeah, they suck. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're talking about a guy last year who was in the playoffs whenever you were at home and who beat the #1 defense in the league.
And then beat them too. Beat the Jets as well.
I just don't understand how that someone can say that about someone who 1-1 in the playoffs. He has a winning record as a starter.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not true.
Right.
And I think it's going to end up hurting the Jets a lot. I think Rex Ryan, this might be his last year there. But hopefully they can get it together, because I think that the Jets are a fun team to watch whenever that they're clicking on all cylinders.
The thing I don't like about this is that the same incident happened with Mark Sanchez, and everybody was anonymous. No one said, "Oh, hey, I'm Bart Scott, and I said Tim Tebow sucked," or "Oh, hey, I'm Plexico Burress, and I said that Mark Sanchez." Nobody would release any names. And when somebody from another team has to defend him, Champ Bailey said, "Hey, he's just a different player. He wins games. Just throw him in there. He wins games."
He's under.
The Jets are falling apart. They're crumbling. They have no team chemistry anymore. Plain and simple. I don't know whether they don't want to play for Rex anymore. I don't know what the deal is, but you can't just sit there and slander Tim Tebow. We know he's not the prototypical quarterback. Okay, that's fine. He can't throw. But you put him in the game, he will win. He will win games.
Give him one shot.
Right. That's all he needs. And he shows that. Exactly. You guys are not going to make the playoffs. Plain and simple. It's the AFC. Y'all are not making the playoffs.
Yeah.
So
you got the Patriots in your league.
Right. So to just sit there and just call him terrible, and he hasn't just even played yet.
Yeah.
I mean, what? He really just can't do much worse than Mark Sanchez. If anything, the Jets, they have to go up. They can't stay in the valley forever. They can climb the hill a little bit. They won't get on top of it. But to sit there and just call this guy terrible, and he hasn't took one starting snap yet, or even one full game, or even one full season for that matter. I mean, I don't understand it. But it's the Jets. Once again, it's still the Jets. Speaking of another quarterback, Big Ben dislocated his rib, and it almost got into the aorta.
Yeah.
The doctor said. What's next for Pittsburgh Steelers?
Well, number one, I can't even believe this almost. Right. I mean, you're talking about a football player. He's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, and he dislocates a rib. I mean, for all that him and the coaching staff know, they had no idea that it was even like
that bad
up against anything.
Right.
Yeah,
it was just the rib and the shoulder.
And I'm not a medical guy, but I know you can't live whenever if something punctures the aorta.
Yes, that's a lot. So a lot
I mean, and they said that his time frame to come back is unknown or whatever. He needs to sit his butt on the couch and get better. I mean, because if he doesn't rest for as long as he needs to, he could go out there and die next time. I mean, just he needs to sit out and rest.
Yeah, because a flak jacket won't protect that.
Yeah,
all it takes is a hard enough hit, the slightest move, and it's over with. The Steelers, I honestly don't know what's next for them, because that was a big piece of the offense. Yeah, you have people like Mike Wallace and you have Antonio Brown, you have these guys, but without someone to just actually really get them the ball, normally the timing has to change with Byron Leftwich coming back there. Don't get me wrong, Byron Leftwich was an okay quarterback. He's a great backup, but at the same time, it's Byron Leftwich. I don't think that
he's no Big Ben.
Right. He just can't carry them like Ben can.
He might be able to win one or two games.
Right. And I honestly don't see it. That just turned everything around in that division. So only time will tell, and I hate saying that, but only time will tell what's going to happen to the Steelers. Until they get Big Ben back, it's just question marks all over that organization. So, like I said, only time will tell. And we're going to transition real quick into recognizing our own volleyball players. We want to take a quick moment to recognize Miss Danielle Barker, Stacy Murrah, Katie Coville, Kelsey Ragland, And last but not least, Miss Nikki McNorton. She was, well, all 5 of them, I should say, were recognized by the LSC for being players of the year. They made the LSC team. And then also a big keynote is Nikki was the first Texan to earn an all LSC Defensive Player of the Year, the first in the school's history. So that's a great thing. Great
year.
There. So it was a great year, girls. Next year, just do even better because you guys did good this year, but we all want that ring. Everybody wants the ring. And speaking of rings, the Texans, the basketball team, plays Texas Permian Basin Falcons. Now, they have to bounce back.
They need to bounce back, yeah.
They have to bounce back. They were in top 10 ranked. They have to bounce back. No more slip-ups. No more underestimate your opponents. I understand it's Texas Permian, but at the same time, you guys saw anybody can be beat any day. Don't slip up.
And you can throw out the excuse for the first game jitters and everything.
Yeah.
But no, if they don't take care of business now, there might be some trouble brewing in there. So
because you guys have the talent to do it. You guys definitely have the athletes. Just the mind, the mental has to be there. It has to be there. But now part of the show that never leaves you a one-word text. It is the rundown. First up, UCLA versus USC. What's up with it?
I'm praying USC wins this because I would love to see them in the Pac-12 championship against Oregon. They should. I see no reason why they shouldn't win.
Right.
But UCLA has also been a pretty good surprise this year.
Yes, they have.
I'm pretty sure. I know USC sure doesn't have a defense. I'm guessing UCLA probably doesn't either.
Right.
But we'll see. I think USC is going to take it by 14, though. You just can't contain Marquise Lee and Robert Woods.
Right. I got USC. UCLA, I mean, it's a better UCLA, but at the same time, USC has just been balling this year. Defense is bleh, but, I mean, hey, they've still been balling. The only good thing I can say about UCLA is that Puff Daddy's son goes there. Other than that, I see USC taking that one. As far as the score goes, I'll say 30-14, something like that. USC is still Matt Barkley back there. He's still back there. So we have USC all over that. What about Stanford and Oregon? Big game right there.
Yeah, I think Stanford's ranked 13th. I wish Oregon could be beat, but I think if they are, it's going to happen to a USC team in the Pac-12 championship. But I think it might be closer than what I think it's going to be.
Yeah.
And I don't even think Stanford's star quarterback is back yet.
Yeah.
But they do actually have a pretty decent defense. You saw that whenever they played USC. But Oregon also has probably the best offense in the country. So I'm gonna have to take Oregon. I'm gonna say 56-42.
Yeah. I'm glad you said something like that. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, because even though it was USC, Oregon let USC stick around. Even though it was a high-scoring game, they let them stick around. I'm like you. This is a big game right here because if they don't win this game, and definitely if USC wins against UCLA, that's two big games that's going to stop them from the national championship.
Yeah.
They have to win this game. I understand you have the Black Mamba and DeAnthony Thomas. I understand that you have Kenjon Barner, but they're liable to be beat. I know you can't catch them, but still, USC proved that they can be beat. But I still have Oregon over Stanford, high-scoring game, something random like 56-42.
Yeah.
It's still gonna be a high-scoring game just because it's Oregon and they're susceptible to be, let teams stay in it. They will do 50 points on offense but give up 49. So
I think this might be the game where Kenjon Barner kind of loses the Heisman talk too.
Right, because they're gonna have to come with it.
Yeah,
they're gonna have to.
I don't think he's gonna run for 250.
So hey, Oregon, let's see what's up. Next one, upset alert. First one up, K-State versus Baylor.
Okay, I would love to put K-State on upset alert, just because Baylor's offense is so ridiculous. They probably have, I think, the best wide receiver in the country in Terrence Williams. I know he leads the country in receiving yards. I think he's just a freak of nature out there. But I just don't think Baylor's D is going to be able to stop Colin Klein once.
No.
But
not at
if there's – and we saw what they did to West Virginia, who had a very high potent offense you saw against Baylor.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why they played the game. So, but I'm going to take K-State to win 35-14. I still think it's going to be not that close.
Oh, K-State. They have a quarterback that they call Optimus Klein. So that should tell you that they're going to win this game. And I honestly think that it's going to be something like the West Virginia game. Baylor is still Baylor. They still have a powerful offense. And
pretty sure the defense is the last in the country.
Right, and K-State has a powerful offense. And I actually think, I'm going to go out on a limb and say this, Baylor is going to give them a run for their money. And I'm gonna
maybe
say,
in the first half.
Yeah, and I honestly think it's going to go all the way through. So just watch out. We did say it's an upset alert. So just for the sake of it, I'm going to say 49-45.
Woo!
K-State over Baylor. And then the second upset alert, I should say, is Notre Dame, the Mighty Fighting Irish, against Wake Forest and the Demon Deacons. What's up on that one?
Well, Wake Forest is not that great a team this year, but it kind of seems like Notre Dame, whenever they're playing an opponent that's not that great, they kind of play down, kind of like the BYU game and the Pitt game.
Yep.
I don't think they're going to go undefeated. I think they'll either lose. I doubt they lose to Wake Forest, but I think that if not, then they'll lose to Wake Forest. And I really don't think any of the undefeateds will stay undefeated. I think if K-State will survive this weekend, but I think Texas might come in and surprise them in the Big 12 championship.
Right.
And then I think if Oregon survives against Stanford, I think USC could possibly go out there hungry for the big win. But I think Notre Dame will beat Wake Forest, but I'm going to say like 21-14.
Yeah, it's going to be something close because Pitt exposed them. Pitt downright exposed Notre Dame for what they were. Don't get me wrong.
At home, too.
Right. They're still a good team. They still have the mighty Teo.
As long as they win, yeah.
Yeah, at the same time, you boys better bring it because Wake Forest is looking to end up wrecking the whole BCS standings.
They have nothing to lose.
Underdogs love doing that, trust me. But I have Notre Dame over Wake Forest. I'm going to say 27-14, something simple like that. But instead of NCAA football, we're going to go to professional football here. Baltimore versus Pittsburgh. I wish that both teams were fully healthy.
Yeah.
But what do you see in this one?
Baltimore is obviously not the same team that they've been in these last few years. You can obviously tell the defense is getting older. No Ray Lewis. The thing is, there is no Mendenhall, or there is no Roethlisberger, but Mendenhall's back.
Right.
And the Ravens' run defense has not been that great.
Right.
And so I think if they keep Leftwich to around 25 pass attempts, they have a chance to win this game. And I actually think that they are. And I think it's going to be close. I'm going to say 27-24. I think they're going to win on a field goal.
I got Pittsburgh winning this one. Simply because, like I said, Byron Leftwich can manage a game. He's a backup. He's a good backup. And we saw what he could do as a starter. Injuries got him, but he's in Pittsburgh now, backing up Big Ben. And he has the weapons. He definitely has the weapons.
He has a defense, too.
He definitely has the weapons to do what needs to be done to get this win. But the only reason – I'm trying to play devil's advocate. The only reason why I say Pittsburgh will lose is because Mendenhall is back. He's known for putting the ball on the ground.
True.
But I'm going to stick with my gut and just say Pittsburgh. I'm going to say 31-14. Something bad just because Mendenhall is back. 31-14, Pittsburgh Steelers. Next up, the last one on the show, Chicago versus the Super Bowl favorite San Francisco Giants. What's it looking like?
Well, for a while it was looking like the battle of the backups, but apparently Alex Smith is on the road to recovery. Cutler, I think they had him listed as doubtful, so don't expect to see him. But like how the Steelers have Byron Leftwich, the Bears have Jason Campbell, and you've seen him start for the Redskins, and you've seen him start for the Raiders, and
mind you, he had different OCs.
Yeah, like every year. Yeah. So I mean, no one has really seen his true potential thus far. Right. But I think if Alex Smith plays, San Francisco is going to win. I think it's going to be low scoring. I'm thinking like 17 to 10 49ers, just because it's having the starting quarterback helps a lot, and because Alex Smith has played very well thus far this year.
Right. I got San Francisco over Chicago if Alex Smith plays, and even if Alex Smith doesn't play, simply because Colin Kaepernick is a dangerous guy. Yeah. We always see him run, but I've seen him throw before, and he can actually throw the ball. And when you have receivers like that in that line,
I think he has a future somewhere.
Oh, yeah, he definitely does. He's the next Matt Flynn. He's not going to be in San Francisco too much longer.
Nah.
But, not hypothetically speaking, but say that Alex Smith doesn't play, you have Colin Kaepernick. He's going to hand that ball off, which is going to utilize Frank Gore. Nobody wants to see Frank Gore in that hole, and nobody wants to see him in the open field because he can either go left, right, or straight ahead, straight through you. But like I said, I got San Francisco over Chicago. I'm going to say 31-17. It's not going to be just too bad of a butt whipping. But because, I mean, Chicago still has that defense. They still got Peanut. They still got Brian Urlacher.
I think Kendall Hunter might be one to watch this week too, because you know Frank Gore, he's got to be almost 30 if he's not. So he's kind of starting to wear down a bit, and Kendall Hunter, he's shown some flashes. So I think he might be someone to watch out for.
Well, you heard it from us. San Francisco over Chicago. We both got it. This has been Topic of Discussion. You already know we'll be back every single time. Why? Because we're the best. Caleb McKay, Travion Davis. We're out of here.